everyone, this is Pause or Repeat. Here we figure out whether a game is really worth your time and money. Today's game is the Talos Principle 2. The Talos Principle 2 is a puzzle game by Crow Team, a developer also known for the Serious Sam series. This being a sequel to the first, which was regarded as an excellent game, the sequel has some big shoes to fill. So let's jump right into looking at what the game has to offer by first looking at the gameplay. The gameplay of the Talos Principle 2 starts off just like the first game, but after the brief tutorial, you are then thrust into a game that focuses on world building, as well as delivering narrative through exploration, and of course, plenty of puzzles to solve. However, don't expect the game to throw the same exact puzzles at you as the first. This game takes a Portal 2 approach to things, building on what made the first game great and adding creative and head-scratching mechanics. New mechanics include the return of the beam connector, but with an RGB twist, or controlling another android. Which leads us to the story. Why are we here and who are we playing? Unlike the first game, this game takes place outside the simulation. To put it briefly, humanity is gone due to a virus. After the events of the first game, a goal is set to build 1,000 new humans, android-like beings with sentient human consciousnesses. You play as the last new human ever to be built, dubbed 1K. But right as the celebration of reaching the goal starts, a mysterious collection of light particles introduces themselves as Prometheus and invites an expedition to a distant island. From there, you set out on the adventure to the island alongside some companions to unravel the mystery and encounter the puzzles along the way. But now the question still stands: pause or repeat? This game is really interesting because not only does it, make you feel really smart when you finish these puzzles that are real head scratchers sometimes, but you really have a little bit of a chance to do some RPG elements with a lot of the cast members and the whole 1,000 population of androids, or new humans as they call them in the game. And I have to say, the RPG elements are actually a little bit better than Starfield.
Oh, okay. Now you're out of pocket for that. I mean, you really want to keep riding that bandwagon all the way to the year 2024 with this, and we're never gonna let that go with Starfield. Golly,
yeah, but
man.
I mean, you get to talk with these other characters, have full-on philosophical conversations, and really discuss something. Whereas, I didn't really feel like you got to do that in Starfield. But, that was another game.
Hey,
we're
some people
about the
would beg
Talos
to
Principle.
differ. I think that's a bit shameful. You're being a little too harsh on Starfield. But hey, we're here to talk about the Talos Principle 2. And as you started off with that kick-ass video, the sequel starts off thousands of years after the first game that was released in 2014. Athena, which you met at the end of the original game, introduced you as 1K, the final android. And, you said head scratching. I say hair pulling. These puzzles are so freaking darn difficult. I mean, what's really cool about it is in the first game, you had your crystal refractors and you had puzzles that involve light beams, but now there are new mechanics, including portals or an anti-gravity machine, which allows you to walk on the walls and the ceiling. So there's new elements that make it very, very fun. But the reason why I say hair pulling, HenricK, is there's no hint system. Like, what the hell? I mean, yeah, there are options to be able to collect, helpful tokens to be able to skip some puzzles. But guys, that's not for free.
Yeah.
You got to go and find those hidden collectible resources all throughout the new land of New Jerusalem. So,
and then once you use it, it's stuck in that puzzle until you solve the puzzle for real.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So I think what's going to make you want to stick it to the end is because of what you just stated. The storytelling and character development throughout the whole game is a major, major plus, because it will keep you focused all the way until the end. Because there are a lot of times you're going to be playing this game, you're going to be so freaking frustrated, you're going to walk away, you might place your ass on the toilet. We all do it. We all scrolling through memes and looking at YouTube shorts, and then all of a sudden it clicks. It's like, holy crap, well, yeah, no pun intended, but you know what I mean. I think I solved the puzzle, and then you're going to go run back to your PC or you're going to run back to your console and you're going to want to go and complete this entire game. But because it's so frustrating, Henrik, I'm going to say it's a pause. It doesn't mean it's a terrible game. I'm not really high on puzzles, like puzzle games like this, just because, again, I'm trying to have a good time. I'm not trying to get frustrated. You know what I'm saying? So that case in mind, I mean, that's how I feel. But you, the gamers, let us know what's good. But Henrik, how are you feeling about this game?
Yeah, actually, yes, it is a very hard game when it comes down to solving a lot of these puzzles that are very, like you said, hair pulling rather than just head scratching. But I will say, I think it's a repeat for me, considering there's actually a lot you can explore. There's definitely stuff that you miss in your first playthrough unless you're following a walkthrough. And at the same time, also, there's multiple endings, just like the first game. So, all that combined, in my view of things, it looks like I would want to play this game again, actually. And, it probably would be easier the second time through, considering the puzzles don't really
Oh,
change.
you might remember certain things,
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of puzzles, so you're probably not going to remember everything, but you'll kind of remember, the fundamentals of how puzzles go together, so it'll be easier the second time through. That being said, it is a pretty long puzzle game, so if you're not really too down with puzzles, like puzzles are really my weakest genre of video game to play through.
I think it's every gamer's weakest genre. Let's be real. What other genre would be weaker than a puzzle game?
That's fair. That's fair. But I will say, usually I only mostly struggle with puzzles if they're really hard or if they're thrown into the middle of a different genre of video game, like an action genre, and then all of a sudden there's a puzzle. Like, I'm not in the mindset for this right now, but
let's just put it this way. If you're a cat that's played like games like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and they have those moments where you find a little tomb or whatever, and you get to have to solve a puzzle. If you get frustrated playing that, then you ain't gonna like this game. Because that is very mediocre in Star Wars compared to what is being brought up in the Talos Principle 2. So very cool, to kind of see a game that was around a decade ago get revitalized for a brand new generation and a new audience and for returning gamers.